¿Qué show, gente? Yo soy Daniel y esto es Campa Gameplays. Así es, gente, vamos a iniciar con esta aventura que se llama What Reminds of EDITH FINCH. Vamos a ver qué tal nos va, gente. Ok, estamos aquí. Estamos en una embarcación. Ok, EDITH FINCH. Abrimos el libro.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Bien. Ahí vivió hasta los 11 años. Bien, pues. Ok. Bueno, mi casa son de Infonavit, pero bueno. Bonita tu casa. Ok, acá atrás no hay nada. Aquí no podemos correr ni brincar. Un walk simulator. Bien,
I
me
lived
gusta.
here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Mi casa nomás tiene 2 cuartos. Entonces, bueno. Ok.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Ok, nos estamos identificando, La otra vez me llegaron un montón de cartas para pagar cuentas y esas cosas. Y el periódico también. Bien, pues. Los gráficos están muy padres,
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Nada, no he regresado del funeral de mi hermano Lewis. Así que con permiso. No traspasen, hay cámaras.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Okay.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Ok, secretos de familia, gente. Esto va a ser secretos de familia. Aquí puedo bajar por aquí. O por acá. Y... no sé, gente. Sí, esos misterios de familia o secretos familiares son bastante interesantes.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Parece de que no importa el camino que tome, todo me va a llevar a la casa. Ah, mira. Un venado. ¿Qué onda, amiguito?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Yo que tú la vendería. Historia real. Yo que tú la vendería, pues.
But now I
No
had
sé.
questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Ok. Pa' casita, ¿Cuánto costará el terrenito, Ok, sabíamos que íbamos a regresar por... íbamos a llegar, por cualquier camino que habíamos tomado, habíamos llegado aquí. Bien, entonces.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Muchos cuartos, muchas cosas medio raras. Y yo creo que en México no se permite... Bueno, sí se permite hacer ese tipo de casas. Bueno, no puedo decir más. Ok, vamos a llegar como gente decente por las escaleras principales.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Sí, ya sé, sí entiendo eso. Un niño perdido. Milton Finch. Ah, ¿será su hermano el que falleció? No, pero era Lewis. Va a tener varios hermanos. Ya llegué.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Ok. Pero vuelvo a insistir, el terreno está bastante bien. Ok, vamos. Ok, parece de que alguien entraba en silla de ruedas. Posiblemente la abuela. Ok, here we go. Vamos a entrar.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Pues bastante limpia, ¿eh? Ok, tengo que buscar otra entrada. Lo sabía. Se me hace curioso de que nadie haya venido a la casa. Ni siquiera a robarla. Bueno, es que si es en Estados Unidos es primer mundo. Acá yo tengo una de esas. Bueno, tenía unas de esas. Lo compré en los chinos. Bueno, aquí sí saben reciclar. Aquí saben lo que es orgánico e inorgánico. Reciclajo. Ah, ok.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Todo está intacto. Ah, la bicicleta.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Ok, ella vivía ahí, todos se marcharon de ahí. Mientras.
For the first time in years.
2010. Aquí vamos.
I felt like I was home.
Ok. Pues como que tomaban mucho, ¿no? Lo que me gusta es que eran muy cultos. Lean mucho, no como países. México. Fútbol. Perdón.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Lewis Finch. Ese es su hermano, pero allá afuera hay otro que se llama Milton. Noviembre de 2010. Ouch.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Bueno, el salmón es bueno.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
Bueno, tiene purificador, la comida china es buena. Muchos libros. Me gusta esta casa, la voy a rentar. Hay muchas fotos familiares. Bastantes libros, ¿eh?
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Era la abuela la que ocupaba la silla de ruedas.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
O sea, se están riendo de ti. Tal vez era la casa de la abuela y ahí vivían. Digo, por la situación. Ah, mira, está padre. Cerca del lago.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Entonces la casa fue reconstruida. Ok. Down page. A ver, simplemente para recalcar, Eddie era la abuela, ¿verdad? Ok. Aquí no hay luz. Fotos de guerra. Ático. Cajita.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Okay. Barbara Finch. Para decir que era actriz.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Sospechoso. Ok, hay algo en el sótano. Hay muchas cosas aquí.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Como que salieron huyendo. Vamos a ver qué dice aquí de...
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Ok, su hermano desapareció. Su hermano Lewis falleció. Ella nomás sobrevivió. Y la abuelita y la mamá, ¿no? Esto está tapado con... Ah, me gusta ese librero, está chido. Está tapado con relleno.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Están enterrados en un lugar de la biblioteca. Ojo, no están enterrados en vida, sino que son los libros que posiblemente escribieron o leyeron. Interesante. Ok, el texto nomás lo dice una vez. Interesante. Nada por aquí. Pero no entiendo aquí la fotografía. Aquí está la mamá. Aquí está... Ah, Edith. Ok, ya. O sea, tenía otras dos hermanas. O, bueno, eran 4. Que es Lewis, Edith, Milton y ella. O posiblemente ella es Edith, no sé, vamos a ver. Ok, ya revisamos toda la planta de abajo. No hay más aquí, vamos arriba. Una silla especial para la abuelita. Muchas fotos.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Ok, sí, era su otra hermanita. Selló todas las puertas, sí es cierto. No, pues su mamá sí estaba loca, ¿no?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Qué loco, ¿no? O sea, estás en el baño. ¿Quién está en el baño, no? A ver, deja ver. Hay cada familia, la verdad. A ver. Esta es de Calvin. 1950, 1961. Gregory. 76, 77. Eddie, ah, ok. El que fue la que falleció también. A ver.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Ah, ok. Ok, 11. Este es un año. 10. Eddie y la abuela.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Ok. Era pintora, vientos. Sven Eddie.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Parece que era actriz infantil. Ok, vamos a ver qué. Vamos a revisar primero. Aquí es la habitación de Bárbara. Ok. Muy chiquitos.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Ok, continuemos. Que es el único cuarto abierto. Vamos a ver qué hay acá. Todos viven aproximadamente entre 10 años y 11.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Pues son muchos cuartos. Hola,
I
buenas
spent
noches.
a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Tiburón ballena. Un tren.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
No he leído este cuento, los 20.000 leguas de viaje submarino. Muy bueno, la verdad. Ahí conocerán a Capitán Nemo y a Nautilus. Lean, lean.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Ok. A ver, me falta un lado por recorrer. Es la incertidumbre, la curiosidad me mata. El ático. ¿Estará abierto? Vamos a ver.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Ok, ya. Vamos a ver lo que su mamá escondía.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Claro, sí, más si dice Milton ahí en su firma, ¿no?
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Vamos a descubrirlo, mija.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Molly.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Qué loca. ¿Vamos a esto? Qué raro, la mirilla está más arriba que las otras. Diseño de niveles.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Es una medusa. Como... O sea, son cuartos de niños. Todos. Orca Island. Por acá. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
O sea, el ratón.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh, la castigaron muy feo. Cómete el pez.
about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Ay, esa niña sí sabe gobernar, ¿eh? No como mucha gente adulta que no se puede gobernar. Ah, es el baño. A ver, la puerta va a estar cerrada.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Te los hayas comido, niña, no seas...
Mom, can I come out now?
Ok.
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Pero tengo hambre. Historia real. A ver. Una estrella rota, Molly, Eddie. Ok.
I kept eating and eating.
¿Quién se come la pasta de dientes? ¿Quién se come la pasta de dientes? Esta niña está enferma. Esa noche me
I ate a lot of things that night.
Pero es plástico.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Hola, buenas noches, señor
It
pájaro.
was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I
Me la voy a
reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Ok, niña.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Tiene mucha imaginación. ¿Dónde está?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
¿Dónde está el pájaro? Ahí está su nido. Véngase para acá. No te muevas, que no te alcanzo.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
El pájaro, ven para acá.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
¿Dónde?
Rabbits.
Ven para acá.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Ven acá, conejito.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
No, pues. Vamos para abajo.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I
Okay.
was hungrier than ever.
¿Dónde estás?
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
¿Dónde está otro? ¿Dónde está otro? Ya no. Ven acá.
I grabbed on tight. And when I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Un pulpo?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Creo que esa niña está un poquito mal de la cabeza.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Ok, esa niña ya me dio miedo. Vamos para arriba.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Alguien está bien borracho y me lo voy a comer. O sea, la niña dice eso, ¿no? Qué buen hombre. Buenas noches, buen hombre.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Es su cuarto. No es que es su cuarto, parece su cuarto. Sí, ese es su cuarto.
Closer and closer.
Todos mis
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Ok. Ok, vamos a ver.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Porque tengo que descubrir... Ah, cómo murió cada uno. Aunque ella murió y se comió solita, vientos. No creo que puede jugar el gato aquí.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Vamos, por lo menos tenían cable.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Dragon's Kill Finch. Ok, vamos a ver qué hay acá. Se trató.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Ok.
Her room was like a museum.
Sí, bastante, muchas cosas esa
For
casa.
500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune.
Ah, está en
and
Noruega, perdón.
misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
F.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
Ah, se llevó la
hoping
casa.
to leave the curse behind.
Ah, no, bueno. La casa está en Noruega y se la pasaron para Estados Unidos, yo creo.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Ok.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Ok.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Que es la casa en la que donde estamos ahorita, ok. Ahí la construyó. Ok. A ver, ya sabemos cómo murió
Whatever's
Odin.
wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Okay. Ah, memory at the... Ok. The Monster of the Deep. Eso parece ser algo muy Lovecraftiano. Muchos libros, películas, a ver. Ah, no, pero son de ellos. My friend, bicho, Random Junk, Home Movies. Él no se quiere ir.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Por la rebeldía. Ok. No hay nada más por acá.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Realmente hay una silla porque la señora se bañaba sentada, pues. Los lentes, una rana. Esto es un pastillero, para los que no sepan qué es. Es un pastillero. Ok. Otra llave. The secret at the back.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Ahí abajo.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Un cuarto de fotografías. Interesante.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
O sea, ahorita vengo, voy al baño y se metió aquí. Y se pone a hacer sus... Ah, no puedo salir. Ay, qué loco. Tengo que ir por acá. Milton. Ok, hasta por acá llegó Milton. O sea, Milton sí tiene acceso a toda la casa. Por Calvin. Es la habitación de su hermano, ¿no?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Ok, uno quería ir al espacio y otro quería estar en la Tierra. EDITH FINCH. Ah, ahí está su hermano. Ah, este es su hermano ya grande. O sea, sí creció, no murió niño. Sam Finch, 1963. Explored the universe.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
No, niño,
I
no lo
told
hagas.
him going around was impossible. Maybe
No.
if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
No, niño, no lo hagas.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Niño, no lo hagas. Vete a cenar. No, niño, no lo hagas. No, niño, no lo hagas.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Okay, Calvin.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Ah, chale. Está. Ok. ¿No hay aquí otro pasadillo? Ah, sí. Ya entendí.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Se alistó, se fue al ejército. Ah, con razón acá hay cosas de niño, o sea. No, pues está hardcore esto, ¿eh? O sea, ¿qué onda con esta casa? Todo está interconectado. Yo vivo en una casa de Infonavit y...
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Okay. Aquí salimos para allá. Milton. Ah, la audición de Bárbara. Uy.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Lago de los cisnes. Cisnes.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Bar Street.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Ah, okay.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Hostia. Ya me dio miedo.
She found Rick's crutch.
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out,
F.
but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
She heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
What?
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Ah, wow.
She saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Ok. Buena forma de llevar la historia. Ok.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Ok, gente, hasta aquí lo vamos a dejar en esta ocasión, este capítulo. Tenemos que descubrir qué pasó con toda la familia Finch. La verdad está bastante interesante este juego. La historia está muy padre, es algo diferente, la verdad. Y espero que les esté gustando, a mí me está encantando. Así que nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo, gente.